Elias was not like the others in his small town. While others were content with tales told by fishermen and sailors, Elias longed for something more. He wanted to live the stories, to breathe their salt, to feel their storms. Stories on paper were never enough for his restless heart. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon and the lighthouse cast its final glow upon the waves, Elias wandered into the ruins of that very lighthouse. It was a place most people avoided, old, broken, and full of whispers from the sea. But to Elias, it was a place of secrets waiting to be uncovered. There, beneath layers of dust and salt, he found a journal. Its leather cover was cracked, its pages worn by time. But the words inside, the words were alive. They spoke of a vanished city, hidden beneath the ocean waves, a city that revealed itself only to the brave, only to those who truly believed. That night, Elias could not sleep. The words haunted him. They sang in his dreams, pulling him toward the sea. And so, with courage burning in his heart, he decided, he would find the city. Days turned into weeks. Elias set sail on a small ship, facing the endless horizon. The sea was merciless. Storms rose like mountains, lightning cracked across the skies, and night stretched endlessly with nothing but the roar of the waves. The crew whispered in fear, speaking of curses and fates that awaited fools. But Elias never turned back. He held tightly to the journal, reading its words as if they were prayers, guiding him forward when doubt tried to break his spirit. There were mornings when silence weighed heavier than storms. The ocean stretched flat and lifeless, the sun burning down with no wind, no sound, no end. In those moments, Elias felt small, just a fragile soul upon an endless sea. But deep inside, he believed. And belief was enough. Then, one dawn, everything changed. The sea shimmered with colors he had never seen before. Waves glowed with a soft, radiant light, as if the ocean itself was breathing magic. The mist parted slowly, and from within its veil, the city emerged. Towers of coral, taller than any mountain. Statues of kings long forgotten, their stone faces watching silently. Crystal streets glowing beneath the water, fountains spilling silver streams. The air itself seemed alive with music, songs that carried voices from another age. Elias's heart trembled. He stepped ashore, the ground pulsing beneath his feet, as though the city itself was alive, welcoming him, or warning him. He wandered through streets of wonder. Birds with wings of glass soared through the sky, their feathers scattering rainbows in every beat. Bridges arched like ribbons of light. Everywhere he looked, the impossible became real. But beauty has shadows. And soon, the shadows lengthened. The songs turned from hymns of joy to whispers of warning. The air grew heavy, and the walls of the city seemed to close around him. At the heart of the city, Elias found it. A chamber of stone, silent and eternal. And there, upon a throne carved into the earth itself, rested a crown. A crown made not of gold or jewels, but of pure light. It pulsed, alive, waiting. As his hand reached out, visions consumed him. He saw the city in its glory, alive, radiant, unstoppable. Its people walked with pride, their world shining brighter than the sun. But then, darkness. Greed. War. A hunger for power that devoured everything. The light of the crown turned to fire, and that fire drowned the city. The crown was no treasure. It was a burden. A curse disguised as beauty. The city had not been lost to time, it had hidden itself, burying its secret deep beneath the sea, not to be claimed, but to be protected. Elias understood. This legend was not meant for conquest. It was meant for wisdom. So, with steady hands, he placed the crown back upon the throne. The chamber grew still. The whispers softened into a hymn of peace. The city sighed, as though relieved. And slowly, it began to fade. The towers dissolved into mist. The statues crumbled back into the waves. The streets of crystal melted into the sea. Until all that remained was water, stretching endlessly once more. When Elias returned to his ship, the ocean was calm. The storms had passed, and the journal he carried, its words were gone. The pages were blank, as if the story had written itself into his life, and no longer needed ink. Years later, children would gather around him by the harbor. They laughed when he spoke of glass-winged birds, silver fountains, and a city of coral towers. They called it a tale, a story, nothing more. But in Elias's eyes, there was a light. The light of one who had seen the impossible, and carried its truth quietly in his soul. And sometimes, late at night, when the waves whispered against the shore, Elias would close his eyes and wonder. Would the city call to him again?